Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing why you are failing. You think that you know what you're doing, you think that you're doing everything right, but you really aren't. And that is exactly what we're going to be discussing. So, the first thing that we are going to do today is we're going to understand what the problem is. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have all of these problems, but you are going to have a few of these. What you need to understand is that market, first of all, is uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen in the markets. You don't know where price is going to move. Yes, you can analyze it, you can expect something, but you can never know for sure. And that's why we say that the markets are uncertain, just like anything else in life. Everything is uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen, right? I don't know. After I make this video, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to fall. I'm going to break my knee. I don't know, right? Anything can happen. And then the next thing is that you need to know, you need to understand that the only advantage you have in the market is your edge. When you first start trading, you are at an extreme disadvantage because this line of business is so difficult. It's basically only the 1% of people who are going to make it in trading. So you are at a disadvantage, and the only way you can move up the ranks is using your edge. Now, a lot of people don't even have an edge. They have a strategy and then they think that's their edge. But strategy isn't your entire edge. There is a lot of things to it. The third thing you need to understand is that if you have no system in place telling you what you're doing wrong, then there is no edge, right? So, in the second point, I told you that you need an edge, but you cannot have an edge if you don't have a system that constantly tells you what you're doing wrong, right? So you need a system in place. You need a journal. You need a trading journal which will tell you what you're doing wrong. So you can then fix those things. Then the fourth thing, I'm sorry I'm telling you this, but your model has flaws. Your strategy has flaws. Your strategy does not work how you expect it to work. Okay? So your strategy has flaws and you need to fix this. The fifth thing, and this is something that I see a lot of people, trust me, I talk to a lot of people. I hold consultation calls where a lot of people come up to me. I ask them, what's your strategy? They will sit there for 30 minutes and they will explain me their entire strategy. They will tell me they have a 60% win rate and their average RR is 3. You have a 60% win rate, your average RR is 3, and you have the perfect strategy. Why are you sitting here on this consultation call with me? Why do you not have thousands of dollars? And then they don't know what to say. So they are lying to themselves. They their average RR isn't 3 and their win rate isn't 60% either. So you're lying to yourself. Quit lying to yourself. Okay? So that is the last thing that you need to understand. Now let's move on to how you can basically fix this. Okay? So how do you fix this? Right? The first thing that we need to do is we need to rewire our mind. We need to rewire our mindset to be comfortable with uncertainty, right? You need to know that markets are uncertain and you need to shift your mindset into a state where you aren't bothered by uncertainty, right? Which we're going to go over in just a sec. The second thing you need to do is very important. Obviously, you need to build an edge. Without an edge, I mean, what are you even doing if you don't have an edge, right? So having an edge is literally the most important thing. So you need an edge, right? So that's going to be a second thing that if you're going to do, that's going to fix all of this. The third thing is going to be creating a journal that tracks every move you make. So you need to make a journal that is going to track every single move that you're going to make. Every move. And when I say every move, I mean every move, right? I don't mean just the trades that you're taking. What you feel when you're taking those trades, what your emotions are, what was your thought process before you were entering that trade, right? All of those things, all of those metrics, you need to journal them and you need to have a solid track of everything. that you're doing in the markets. The fourth thing is going to be coming up with a model that works, and then you use your journal to refine it. So, first of all, like I just told you, your model sucks. Your model does not work. You need to work on your model. What you're going to do, you're going to come up with a base model, just a base model. So, if I was to explain my trading model in just a few words, I would say that I look for bias, weekly bias on the daily chart. Then I watch out for order flow on the H4 and H1. Then I watch out for narratives on the H4 and H1, and then I go down into the lower time frames. Once my narrative is being fulfilled, I watch out for my narrative being fulfilled at a good time, and then I look for a mechanical uh, entry model, and that's where I enter from. Now that this I basically told you my strategy, my trading model in a very short amount of words, right? This model, that is the base of my strategy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my journal. I'm going to execute trades based off of this base strategy, and I'm going to use my journal and I'm going to keep on refining it. So for example, I start to lose a lot of trades during my London session. I journal it, and then I review my journal, and then I look at my journal, and then I'm like, okay, um why am I losing a lot of trades that I'm making in London session? Then I come up with, okay, I'm taking these trades before 3 a.m. equities open, right? So what I do is I wait for 3 a.m. and then I enter my trades, and boom, my win rate skyrockets, right? So these are just a few things that you need to refine in your trading model, which does not happen overnight. It, of course, it takes a lot of weeks, a lot of months to do this, but slowly but surely, you are going to keep on refining your trading model. It's going to keep on getting better and better. If your base strategy was giving you a 30% win rate, refining it is going to give you a 60%. Trust me, it doubles your win rate. The last thing that you're going to do is you're going to use all of those metrics that you're tracking for your journal, and that will tell you where you stand. Because you're fucking lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself that you have a good win rate, you have a good average RR, but that's not true, right? So you need to use these metrics to tell you what your win rate is. If I'm losing 8 trades out of 10 that I'm taking, I have a 20% win rate. Okay? Quit telling people that you have a 70% win rate, because when you lie to people, you lie to yourself, and you don't want to do that. All right, now let's come down to a few more things. Let's actually study in detail how you're going to be managing all of these. So, first of all, I told you about having a mindset shift, right? So, the first thing that you need, a mindset shift. And so is the outcome. Like I just told you, market is uncertain. You don't know where it's going to go, and the outcome is uncertain as well. Even if you take a trade, even if it's an A plus trade, you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know if you're going to win this trade or if you're going to lose this trade, right? You never know, right? So it's uncertain. Nothing is promised to you, right? So you need to say to yourself, nothing is promised to me, right? Nothing is promised to you. Profits aren't promised to you. My job is to build my edge and keep on executing it, right? Your job, your job as a trader is to build an edge, and your job is to keep on executing on that edge. No matter what, you keep executing on it. Even if you lose 10 trades in a row, even if you lose your house, I don't fucking care if you lose everything, you still need to keep on executing on your edge. You created that edge for a reason. And that brings us to our second point. I have built and refined my edge based on a proven statistic. Right? I'll read it again. I have built and refined my edge based on a proven statistic. And if I keep executing using my edge, I will eventually become profitable. You made this edge for a reason. You worked on your edge for a reason. You worked on your strategy. You worked on your trading model for a reason, right? Why would you drop it just because you lost a few trades? It makes no sense for you to take another trade that isn't according to your trading strategy. If it's not according to your trading edge, right? Why would you do that? It makes no sense, right? So what you need to do is you need to tell yourself that my edge is based on a proven statistic. It's proven to be profitable because you backtested it. because you forward tested it, right? So it's proven that it does work. And if you keep on executing it, you will eventually become profitable if you aren't. All right, then the third point, I am what my trading journal says about me. Anything else is just my ego talking. If your trading model says that you're unprofitable, then you're unprofitable. Oh, I just need two trades and I'll be profitable. No, no, no. You are unprofitable. Those two trades haven't happened yet, right? If your trading journal says you have a 40% win rate, you can't go and tell people you have a 60% win rate, because you do have a 40% win rate. Why are you lying to others? If you lie to others, you are going to believe your own lie, and that's going to drag you down. So anything else is just ego talking. You don't have a 60% win rate. You have the win rate that your journal says about you. All right, let's come down to the second point, and that is creating a basic model. Now, this is an example. This is my personal trading strategy, and ये मैं आपको example दे रहा हूँ basically. This is an example, and this is basically a basic structure, right? Like I just told you, this is a basic structure. And what is this? So, figuring out a bias on the daily chart, aligning H4 and H1 order flow to confirm it, looking for clear narratives towards my bias. Narrative should get fulfilled at a key timing, and then a mechanical execution. So, this is just a basic base of my trading strategy, right? This is just the basics. Then we come down to refining my trading model. Now you're going to refine this using your trading journal, right? So how are you going to refine this? So for example, as I take trades based off of this base trading model, I am going to basically determine from my journal what mistakes I'm making, and then I'm going to fix them. So for example, there was a mistake that I was making by entering pre-news only, right? Now that wasn't working out for me. So what I did, I refined my model. I said, before entering a news, take it, before entering pre-news, right? So that's before news actually occurs. I need to see a manipulation, and then I need to see a low time frame change in order flow. So if I don't get a manipulation and a low time frame change in order flow, I won't enter pre-news, right? So then here I am basically uh, introducing a filter into my trading model, right? Introducing a filter is basically allowing me to higher my win rate, right? And cut down on those unnecessary losses that I was basically making. If London session, only enter after 3 a.m., right? So I might have been losing a lot of trades because I'm entering before 3 a.m. So I will wait for 3 a.m. and then I'll enter if I'm trading the London session. Then what you're going to do, you're going to be pairing up session profiling with narratives, right? So this is another thing that I've refined. And then if your low time frame reversal is v-shaped from the narrative, then you can use an inversion for value gap, right? So these are just a few examples that basically I'm trying to share with you. Now obviously I will have refined it so much, I could go on and on and on and on about my exact refined trading model, but that's not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is to explain and teach you guys how you can do this thing on your own. Then let's come to creating a journal. Now, journaling is the most important thing. You can't do any of these if you don't have a journal. So each and every trade should be journaled, even if it was opened on accident. No, I don't care if your trade was opened on accident or not. You're still going to journal it. You're still going to write, okay, my trade was open on accident in your journal. But you have to journal every single trade. Your journal should be in extreme detail, and every metric should be tracked, right? So your journal should be in extreme detail. And when I say this, what do I mean? I mean the time when you entered, I mean what session you entered in, I mean what your emotions were before entering the trade, what your emotions were after the trade and during the trade. These three things. You also need to journal where you were when you executed this, right? So for example, if I was in the gym and that's where I executed my trade, I will write that I was at the gym, right? Because where you execute from makes a big difference in your trading as well. And I'll obviously also journal what pair I traded. And it's very important to journal, and this is something that I personally do as well. Is I always um, write and journal this one thing as well, where I write what I learned from this trade. So now I don't care if it was a winning trade. There is always going to be something that I'm learning from the trade, right? So my goal is to basically learn something from every trade, and when I write it on my journal, it really helps to improve those little things which compound later on. A journal isn't only for aesthetics. Review your journal every few days. A journal isn't there just for aesthetics, just for show, just for it to just exist. Journal has to be used for its purpose, right? So you have to review your journal every few days and fix those mistakes that you keep on making. I review my journal every night. Every night after a trading day, I review my journal to see what I did wrong. Figure out key points about your trading and yourself. Note them down and work on them. Like I just told you, you need to figure out key points about your trading and yourself. And then you need to note down what those key points are and then work on them, fix them. You are what the trading journal says about you, not what you think about yourself. If your trading journal says you're unprofitable, then you're unprofitable. I don't care what you think about yourself. The journal does not care what you think about yourself. It's you versus you, right? So if your trading journal says that you're unprofitable, then you are. If your trading journal says you have a 30% win rate, that means you have a 30% win rate. You do not have a 60% win rate, right? So these are just a few things that you need to keep in mind. Take a screenshot of this, do whatever you want with this information, but I want you guys to use this and fix your trading. This year is the year where you become profitable, and I want to be the reason that you do. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video.